What's up, fellow Hoop fans? Welcome back to yet another episode of The Last Shot NBA show here on Little Birdie TV. And as always, we are brought to you by our good friends at topsport.com.au. Now, Wednesday mornings, we usually have an international guest, sometimes a local guest as well, but there's just been so much happening in the NBA world that I had to bring back old mate Benyam Kidane from NBA Australia. BK, good morning, sir. I'm doing good, man. Like we were just talking about a little bit off air now, I'm exhausted. Had a long day of getting tattooed yesterday, so my central nervous system is just starting to come back to some sort of normality today.
I love it.
Yeah, well, and the tattoo's not even finished, but we will. I'll show everybody actually once the tattoo's finished in a few weeks. It's going to be a good one, so I'll show everybody when that one's done. BK, we've got a lot to talk about. Let's just get straight into it. Right off the bat, we're unfortunately going to start off with some bad news for old mate Joey Ingles and the Utah Jazz. Joey Ingles ruled out for the season with a torn ACL suffered in the loss to the Minnesota Timberwolves the other day. His contract expires at the end of the season. He's 34 years old. This might be the last that we've seen of Joey Ingles in an NBA jersey, BK. He's very beloved by the Utah Jazz organization, by the fans. It's a sad way to go out if that's the end for Joey.
Yeah, tough one for Joe, especially considering the durability he's shown during his time in the NBA. He's only missed a handful of games across 7 seasons. And you know what they say, availability is a skill. And Joe's definitely had that throughout the course of his NBA career. But as you said, the free agency situation does kind of complicate things a little bit. I wouldn't be surprised if he maybe sticks with the Jazz if it's just on a 1-year deal or something like that. But a tough go for Joe, who's been pretty injury free throughout his career to now be on the sidelines for sort of 6 to 12 months.
BK, you mentioned maybe sticking with the Jazz, but look, as callous as it sounds, I think the Jazz could be using this as a reason to sort of offload his contract. I mean, there was talk they were trying to do that anyway. So he's an expiring deal, so that could be useful in a multi-team trade or even a team that's just looking to shed salary. I don't know if the Jazz actually keep him around for one more year. I read somewhere yesterday that if the Jazz happen to make the NBA Finals, which it's probably a long shot at this point, that he could be back for NBA Finals. But what do you reckon, BK? Is his contract now, despite the injury, does his contract, appealing for some teams that are just looking to shed salary?
Yeah, it is a movable asset as an expiring deal, and as you mentioned, there was talks of that sort of rumbling in the background even before the injury. So. We'll just have to wait and see, I guess, sort of what the future holds for Joe Ingles. I mean, I still think he has some left in the tank at the NBA level beyond kind of this season. But as you mentioned, at 34 years old, this was probably going to be the last big payday of his NBA career heading into free agency. So a little bit of a spanner in the works there for Joe Ingles. But I don't think he's done just yet.
No, he's definitely not done. I mean, could we see him back in the NBL maybe, once he's healthy again and maybe, team up with Delhi, against Delhi?
Well, he's always said that he wants to come back and play in the NBL after his NBA career is wrapped up. But I think he probably envisaged that being maybe another, a couple of years down the track at least. But you never know.
Never know. Look, we do wish Joey Ingles a speedy recovery. Wish him all the best. Great bloke, great guy to talk to. And he's been fantastic in his NBA career. So we wish him all the best. BK, there was some news this morning about the All-Star weekend. We've got the dunk contest participants have been announced. 4 guys: Jalen Green, Cole Anthony, Juan Toscano Anderson, and Obi Toppin from my New York Knicks. BK, what did you think about this lineup, and what's a way too soon dunk contest prediction from you?
Perfect 50s all round for Jalen Green. Let's go.
Not if Dwayne Wade's a judge.
I like this field. I mean, we saw Jalen Green cram down that huge dunk just yesterday. Cole Anthony's got bounced for days. We've seen what Obi Toppin can do in the dunk contest, and Toscano Anderson can get up as well. This is a fun, interesting field of young players. Who do you like from this crop?
Listen, Jalen Green's a good shout. I'm not mad at that. I don't know, Cole Anthony, all right. I don't think he's going to be a finalist, but look, White Toscano Anderson literally jumped over a bloke in a game as well this season. And Obi Toppin's gone through the legs twice in a game this season. So, look, I would have to say Jalen probably would be the early favorite right now, but my Knicks bias is going to show here, and I'm going to say Obi Toppin. Let's go! Like
that's as good a shout as any. Obi Toppin could fly.
Obi Toppin can fly, and look, Knicks fans, we got to catch a break, man. We need something. We need something to happen this season because I think this season's a write-off. We do have. When are the Rising Stars being announced, BK?
I think they're coming out later today. I think 11 a.m. The Rising Stars will be announced.
Okay, so Rising Stars to be announced at 11 a.m. Now, one guy that's going to be in that for sure is going to be Josh Giddey, BK. So we're going to talk a little bit about Josh Giddey. Had a nice little game yesterday as well. 14 points, 12 rebounds, 4 assists in the Thunder's 98-91 win over the Portland Trail Blazers, snapping a 7-game losing streak for the Thunder, BK. So that was Giddey's 11th double-double of the season, which is actually a new franchise record for a rookie player, eclipsing Russell Westbrook's record of 10. BK, I mean, what else can we say about Josh Giddey this season that we haven't said already? He's been fantastic.
Yeah, every other week there's a new graphic with Josh Giddey joins LeBron and insert stat. Like it's, in terms of just doing it at a young age. I think the one yesterday was getting to 500 points, 200 boards, and 200 assists as a teenager. And the only guys that have done that are like LaMelo Ball, Luka Doncic, and LeBron. So it's been a pretty impressive first 45 games for Josh Giddey. And yeah, he'll be fun to watch in this Rising Stars game because there's going to be a lot of guys throwing down dunks, but Josh Giddey's going to be the one throwing lobs.
BK, for those that don't know, they're changing the format of the Rising Stars this year. Like I said, for those that don't know, just give us a quick rundown of what the new format's going to be.
So instead of the USA against the world, we're now going to get 4 teams in a mini tournament, and that'll include some of the G League Ignite guys as well. So this is a fun, interesting format that they've gone with. I think it'll capture the attention of the fans, just given that the games are going to go by quickly. You've got a kind of mismatch of players on teams here. This is a fun little experiment here from the NBA.
Yeah, and like you said, I think Josh Giddey is going to be great in this Rising Stars. Like, we've talked about his court vision, his passing ability all season, and just to be able to look, he's playing with SGA. Yep, great. I love SGA, but now he's going to be playing with a couple of guys that are probably a little bit better than some of his Thunder teammates, and might be able to finish, some of his passes and moves. So I think he's going to be really fun to watch. Let's keep an eye on that. The announcements are coming at 11 a.m., but he's going to be a guaranteed starter in that, BK. Moving on. All right. You're going to enjoy this segment now, BK, because we're talking about one of your guys, Tyrese Maxey. And I know you've got like a 3-minute spiel, or you've got some sort of rhetoric ready to go about Tyrese Maxey because you've been high on him all season, BK. Had a great battle yesterday with Ja Morant. Maxey had 33 points, 3 rebounds, 8 assists, and a pretty impressive 4 blocks as well. BK, he's the point guard of the future for the Philadelphia 76ers. True or false?
Let me prepare my monologue.
Your soliloquy.
No, I'm high on Tyrese Maxey, but it's games like this and that I've always kind of said, in the lead up to this point of the season, is that his performance has kind of changed, I guess, the expectations for Philadelphia in terms of maybe what they want to do with Ben Simmons. I mean, they've been adamant that they want to get like a point guard in return, but you've got a guy like Tyrese Maxey who, when given the opportunity this season, has really impressed. And it's the way he closed out that game in the overtime periods yesterday against one of the best point guards in the league in Ja Morant. I'm a bigger Tyrese Maxey fan as there is out there. And whilst Joel Embiid has been great this season, it's guys like Maxey and how they play that's going to really make a difference for the Philadelphia 76ers if they're to do anything serious in the postseason, because they're creeping up on that number 1 seed.
Yeah, they really are. I was checking the standings last night, and I had to blink twice because I was like, "Yo, Philly's in third." You know what I mean? It's just incredible to think that they're even that high. But Tyrese Maxey's been handed the keys to the Philadelphia offense in a way, and he's lived up to it. And he sort of found a nice balance between sort of finding a balance between running that offense in terms of finding people and setting up the offense, and also getting his as well. He's been absolutely incredible. It seems like there's a limitless potential for him this season, and honestly, I do think Philadelphia is kind of going Ben who right now.
Wait a second. Well, that's the other thing as well, is Philly's transition game almost evaporated with Ben Simmons. We used to see them get out on the break and really punish teams in transition, and Tyrese Maxey is really the only guy on this Sixers team that likes to play fast or play at that kind of pace. So having him this season in short bursts, still trying to bring some of that for Philly, I think has been huge. But he's slowly figuring out the half court game mixed in with the transition, and he can score with the best of them. We saw that yesterday, putting up 33 against the Grizz. I really like this kid. I think he's got a very, very bright future. So again, it will be interesting to see what path the 76ers go down, because they might just have a gem on their hands in Tyrese.
There you have it, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, you've heard it here first. Benyam Kidane says Tyrese Maxey is the greatest point guard of all time. So, facts. I love it, BK. I love it. You're right for you guys, and I'm all for that, BK. All right, we're going to move on to buying or selling, BK. I think this one's going to be a good one to debate today. I don't even know if it might be a debate. I actually think we might agree for the first time this season on this. All right, BK. I might even go first. The NBA championship is the Phoenix Suns to lose. All right, I'm going to go first. I'm buying this. I am all on board the Phoenix Suns right now. They've got the best record in the NBA at 40-9. They've clinched the best 50-game start in franchise history. They've already eclipsed the 2006-2007 Phoenix team. 11-game winning streak is their second longest of the season. They've won a franchise record 18 games earlier in the season. 13-1 in January. I think it was November that they were undefeated, or December or something like that as well. BK, they're playing both ends of the floor. I think they've got the second best offense, third best defense, or the other way around. I can't remember exactly. But they're definitely top 5 in both of those. They're firing on all cylinders. They've addressed their weaknesses last year, which was the front court depth. They're bringing guys like Bismack Biyombo and JaVale McGee, who have done fantastic. DeAndre Ayton's missed a lot of games, but they've been able to cover him this season. Booker and Chris Paul are absolutely phenomenal. You know what? I've been sticking with Milwaukee so far this season, but you know what? I actually believe this NBA championship is the Phoenix Suns to lose. I'm buying this 100%.
Wow, this is the first time you've strayed from the Bucks. This is a huge momentum shift.
It is. Like, that's how good Phoenix has been playing. And you know me, I don't like to read into regular season games too much and winning streaks and all that sort of stuff, because I do know that the real games start later in the season, in late March and early April and all that sort of stuff. But I'm sold on the Phoenix Suns as a legit NBA championship team.
Hey, look, man, I really can't argue with you, because they've been great on the road this season. Chris Paul is continuing to be the big man whisperer, bringing Biyombo back and making him look like a really, really good NBA center. This is a team that, they've still got the taste in their mouths from last season, going up, a couple of games against the Bucks in the finals, and then having to watch Giannis and co lift that trophy. So they've got that motivation. They've got their best players healthy. Chris Paul and Devin Booker both playing at a really high level. So when you look around the league in terms of like absences and sort of other things that could derail them, they haven't really had that as much. They have obviously had guys out, but the guys they've brought in to replace them have done a terrific job. So in terms of momentum, Phoenix definitely has it as we sort of just look past the halfway point of the NBA season, and the Western Conference is not the Western Conference it used to be.
Nope. No, it definitely is. And look, like I said, even the Warriors, they've kind of heated it back up a little bit, but I don't know. I just look at Phoenix as the most complete team in the NBA right now. Yeah, they're fun to watch. Like I said, I'm sold. And if Chris Paul can win a championship, he might just pass Tyrese Maxey on that greatest point guards of all time list.
Only just.
All right, BK, we're going to take a look at some game predictions before we get out of here. 7 games on the NBA schedule today. We're going to take a look at 4 of them. We've got the Miami Heat, Toronto Raptors. They're playing at home today, $1.78 favorites. Miami Heat, 207. The line at -1.5 there. Totals at 210.5. BK. These two played a triple overtime thriller in Miami on Saturday. Toronto's playing second night of a back-to-back today. Snapped Atlanta's winning streak yesterday. Heat 32-19 on the season. Toronto 25-23. I know you don't like picking against Toronto at home, BK. What are you thinking tonight?
You know, I like rocking with the Raptors, but they got to be tired by now. They've played a lot of games in the last couple of days, and Nick Nurse is really getting the most out of the starters. I think they all played north of 50 minutes against the Heat in that game, and I think they were all over 35 against the Hawks. So I'm going to go with the Heat in this one, just because I think the tired legs will catch up with the Raptors.
BK, I agree with you 100%. I do think the Miami Heat win today. I think Toronto are super tired. Like you said, he's relying on the starters, and it seems like the starters only because he's been running very short rotations the last couple of weeks. I do think Toronto are going to run out of legs, and Miami is the best team in the Eastern Conference right now. So we both agree on that, and I do believe that might be the first time you've picked against Toronto at home all season. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it is.
I think you're right. I'm going to eat my hat after this.
Yeah, I've done it many times this season already, so don't worry about it. Let's move on to the next game over here. We've got the Denver Nuggets, Minnesota Timberwolves. Timberwolves $1.55 favorites. Denver Nuggets $2.51. The line's at -4.5. Total 228 flat. Live on NBA League Pass. BK, the Nuggets, man, they are scorching. They spanked the Bucks on Monday, and that one wasn't even close. They're 8-2 in their last 10 games. Nikola Jokic is Jesus. He's been absolutely phenomenal. The big men are just running this league at the moment with him and Joel Embiid. Minnesota in 7th, 3.5 games behind Dallas though. BK, who do you like today?
Hey, I'm gonna stick with Jokic and the Nuggets just because, as you said, Jokic is playing out of his mind right now, and he's doing it pretty much by himself. But that's seemingly enough.
BK, is he playing today? Because he was listed as day-to-day with a sore right toe.
That could explain things. If Jokic is out, I'm going against them.
Okay, because I was just about to say I'm not too sure that he's playing today. Last time I checked, which was very late last night, he was still questionable with a sore right toe. So I am actually going to go Minnesota if Jokic doesn't play, and DeMarcus Cousins is also listed as day-to-day, so he might be a game-time decision. If those
Jokic is questionable with that toe, so 50 at the minute.
Yeah. So I do think Minnesota will get this one at home, even though they haven't got Pat Bev. D'Angelo Russell also listed as day-to-day for them. BK, moving on to the Golden State Warriors and the San Antonio Spurs here. Spurs, $1. He's like 3/4 of the Warriors team not playing today. The Spurs are $1.44 favorite. The Warriors $2.86. The line is at -5.5. Total 219.5. Live on NBA League Pass. BK. The Warriors, like I said, they'd cooled off for a little bit, but they're back to 8-2 over their last 10 games. 3 games behind the Phoenix Suns. Spurs actually hung with the Suns the other day. Probably could have won that game, but I just didn't have enough firepower in the end to get over the line. BK, what do you think about today's game?
Yeah, it's I might go with the Spurs in this one. They've proven to be pretty tricky for some teams in the recent weeks, and obviously Draymond's still out for the Warriors as well.
I don't look. The Spurs played well against the Suns the other day. They showed me something because I thought they were going to get blown out of the arena. So, look, I'm going to have to go the Warriors just because They are a better team. Last I checked, I still thought Curry and Klay Thompson were playing today. I haven't seen anything to show me otherwise. So unless they're not playing for whatever reason, like I said, as of last night, I saw that they were playing. So if something's happened in the last few hours and they're not playing, I can understand why the Spurs are favourites. Otherwise, the Warriors for me. Next game we're going to take a look at here, BK, is the Brooklyn Nets and the Phoenix Suns. Phoenix Suns $1.41 favourites. Brooklyn Nets $2.99. Lines at -6. Totals at 230 flat. This one's live on ESPN. BK, normally this game would be pretty fun to watch if both teams were fully healthy. But again, no Kevin Durant for the Brooklyn Nets. James Harden is listed as questionable. Suns looking for their 11th consecutive win. They're playing at home. No LaMarcus Aldridge also for the Brooklyn Nets. They do have Kyrie, though, and he had an absolutely fantastic game last time that he played. No Crowder, no Aiden for the Phoenix Suns. But like we said, Bismack Biyombo and JaVale McGee have done a great job filling in for him when he's been out. BK, who do you like?
Yeah, I think the Suns' win streak rolls on today.
Yeah, it's easy. You couldn't have said it better. I couldn't have said it better myself. I think the Suns' winning streak rolls on. I think they win pretty comfortably at home. We're going to take a look at one quick NBL game before we get out of here. We've got the Wollongong Hawks and the, did I call them Wollongong? They're Illawarra now again.
They're just the Hawks now.
They're just the Hawks. The Illawarra Hawks, New Zealand Breakers are Hawks big favourites here for a reason. $1.41. Breakers $2.90. Lines at -5.5. Totals at 168 flat. Live on NBA League Pass. Hawks are in 4th, 6-4 on the season. Breakers last, 2-8 on the season. I do think that the Hawks win this one pretty comfortably.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm not betting against Gorge.
Yeah, and your guy Jopp Reith is having a pretty good season too, isn't he?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. All right, BK, we're going to see you again on Friday morning, my friend. Enjoy the next couple of days of hoops action. This has been another episode of The Last Shot NBA show here on Little Birdie TV. We'll catch you guys on Friday morning.